So with that being said, we got a new guest to the show. I am super, super excited for this one. Y'all, we got Brandy here today. She is a life and relationship coach, and she is the CEO of Conquering Relationships, LLC. Did I get all that right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You did.
All right. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. I'm good. It's Sunday. I
Yeah,
gotta get ready for these next 5 days of work.
I know that's right. I know that's right. It has been a journey, man. Especially this weekend. It's just like when you're trying to run your own business, it's just like where you think you got free time, it's just like, hold on, wait. Like let me knock some stuff out real quick. Yeah.
And I like how you said that because I be telling people, like, I'm busy, and a lot of times I be tired, girl, he's in sports, high school, so it's a lot. And I work 9 to 5, so it's a lot I got going on. They were like, "How you act like a granny?" I'm like, "Listen, my free time is free to do what I want to do. Like, I can't give it to all of y'all whenever y'all want it because I be tired, overwhelmed, trying to run content for my brand, be on other people's podcasts, have my own. It's just a lot. So my free time is my free time to do what Brandy want to do."
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of work. And sometimes it's kind of like it's a catch 22 to it. Cause like I find myself sometimes where I'll look around and I'll be like, man, I'm not really spending time with my friends. I'm not really giving certain things the time or the energy that I want to. But I'm thinking long term, and it's just like I have to remind myself that I'm making the sacrifices for the future, and it won't always be this way. But fortunately, uh people around me understand, you know what I'm saying? They don't give me a
Yes,
hard time about it because this is a journey for real.
yes, yes,
Yeah, so
absolutely.
so tell us about yourself. Let's get a proper introduction. Let the people know who you are.
I mean, you pretty much did it. I don't do like the flattering stuff. I just keep it basic and you covered the basics. My name is Brandy Yates. I am a divorcee. I'm 36 years old. My divorce is what swung me into the path of being a life coach. Along the lines of that, I started realizing, you know what? I'm gonna speak on relationships. So then, I put myself into the title of, life and relationship coach because I realized that, a lot of things that we deal in life, no matter what, even if you're an introvert, you still gonna deal with people. You might not deal with them as much, but you still gonna deal with people. So it put me on the path of just being a life and relationship coach, talking about accountability, mindset change, and I speak on platonic relationships, meaning more so self relationship than I do on actual intimate relationships. But I definitely touch, intimate relationships as well.
Ooh, you gonna give me something right off the bat. You giving me
Ooh.
something to work with right off the bat. So why exactly do you focus on self relationships first? I find that interesting.
Because I realized in my own journey, yes, there were a lot of things that were done wrong to me. But I realized in my journey, until I got me together, I was constantly repeating the same patterns and dealing with the same type of people, even in different type of bodies. So I realized it's like and you can blame people all day long. And yes, you may be rightfully wrong, but at the end of the day, it's you that still have to live your life. So it's you that got to take control of your life. That's not nobody else's responsibility to make you happy or to make you have the life that you say you deserve.
That's so real. That's so real. It was actually one of the first things that I had to understand on my own journey. And I think some people get stuck there and it's a vicious cycle just because it's so easy to be like, this person did this, I'm this way because of this incident and this is my trauma and this is why I am what I am and this is why I do what I do. And that's the end of the conversation. Like there's no more to it after that. This is what it is. This is what happened to me and now this is life. And it's just like there's something missing there.
It's the after that period, there's no growth. So it's almost like more. You're expecting better. You're expecting growth, but you put a period sentence at the end of your hurt, at the end of your trauma, and your period there. So there's no comma, no colon that says, okay, I got some more steps to get to.
Mm.
So.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, absolutely. I agree with what you're saying, because you put the control in someone else's hands at that point. You said, okay, this person has hurt me. This is what happened to me. Those are my experiences. So therefore, when I'm having the reactions that I have, when I have this thought process that I have, like, it's because of that other person that hurt me. I always find it so interesting, people's relationship with forgiveness,
Yeah.
because, like, granted, I know it's a difficult thing and it's a slippery slope. Like, some people have things happen to them where it's just like, I can never forgive you. But, you're giving that person that put that hurt there, that control, to control you by not forgiving them, by not letting it go. And that's the part that it's just like, I wish I could really understand that, because it's just like, we don't realize how much power we're giving away by
Yeah.
putting that period on the end of it and not going further.
Yeah, because it is like, and I know you guys probably heard this before, but it's like when you don't forgive somebody, it's almost like you're drinking the poison, hoping that they catch the repercussion of it, but it's only damaging you. And this is for, I know people probably don't really believe in the Bible, and whether you spiritual or not, you're gonna understand what I'm saying when I say, I think there's a scripture that says, the Lord says, vengeance is the Lord's. It's his to do, because you got to think, once you go take vengeance in your hands, whatever it is, and that's what not forgiving people is. You taking vengeance into your own hands,
Mm.
but you got to reap that consequence. You know what I'm saying? So you getting them back what they need to get back according to what you think. But in the end of that, you still reaping that consequence of that, because everything is about planting and sowing. So you're still sowing, even though again you're rightfully wronged. I'm not taking against. You can't tell nobody how something hurt them. I do believe that you can't tell me, as they say, how to react to something that hurt me. I get it. But at the end of the day, you're planting that seed that you're going to reap a consequence from. So the forgiveness is actually for you. It's not for them.
Yeah. Yeah. I could give this a personal example just in my own life. Like, I remember when I left my last relationship, a part of it was, the relationship that I was in prior to that one. I started getting some treatment, and it was just like, oh, I've seen this before. This is my line. We're done. I don't tolerate this. And then once I met someone else, after that, I started seeing some things, and the things seemed similar, and to an extent they kind of were similar, so I would react in a certain way because I conditioned myself where it's just like, oh yeah, I'm not gonna put myself in a position to let you hurt me, you know what I'm saying? Because that's where I had gotten out of those situations, and unknowingly I hadn't healed. So I had just told myself, well, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna cut you off. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna act like that. I'm not gonna be open. I'm gonna let you prove yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna go into this situation guarded and all of those kinds of things. And as I was navigating that situation, I realized I was sabotaging it because I hadn't healed, because it wasn't the same situation. I was looking at it as the same because I just never let that old situation go. So that's when I realized it's me and not those other people, because you can get presented the same situations and have different outcomes just depending on how you choose to navigate that situation.
Yep. People hate the single stage, but in being single, I believe after a breakup, I did a video before and I talked about people who play relationship hopscotch. And what it is that you don't give yourself time to rest. You don't give yourself time to face and deal with the issues or the trauma that you had from this past relationship. And so you go get with somebody else as soon as they give you that butterfly feeling. You go get with them trying to, whether it's trying to prove to the last person that you can find somebody else, or whether it's that you don't like sitting with yourself. Either way, you're playing relationship hopscotch by not taking that time after that breakup to really heal and date yourself. Like, it's like people make that such a bad thing to say that I'm single or that I'm dating myself. Like people hate, they hate the idea of that. And I say, if you hate the idea of that, that means you hate yourself. And if you hate yourself and you don't like sitting with yourself, what makes you think another person is going to like you? So that means if a person comes with you and they know that you hate yourself and you don't respect your own self and you don't know your own worth, yeah, I might get with you because now I see that I can use you or manipulate you. You know, so it's like you got to be careful with playing relationship hopscotch because you don't want to be alone.
Why do you think people run from that single stage?
Because I think they feel like being in a relation, well, it's just my personal opinion. I think people feel like being in a relationship, especially women, um, for women who, you know, like the opposite sex, I think they feel like having a man actually labels them as being some type of worth or some type of worthy.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like if you gotta find your identity in another person, then you aren't worthy. Just go say it like that. You aren't worthy because you don't know. You know, people are like, oh, why you treat me like this? Well, why do you treat yourself like that? You know, I want to go back to what you said with your relationship where you got into something after the next one and you was like, it wasn't really the same, but I could see like the signs. I love how you said that because I feel like what's done, nothing is new under that's done. So it's like you're more than likely going to continue to go through something else again, but it's not necessarily that it's the same exact thing because everything we go through, we got to learn the lesson. And everything we go through is really about learning us in real life. Like if you really look at that, it's not really about what the other person is doing or, you know, how they can make us happy. It's really about you and what do you learn?
Mm-hmm.
Because like you said, in that same situation, it was similar, but you could have learned how to respond differently.
Yeah,
You could have learned, oh, let me nip it at the bud earlier, so let's have this conversation, you know, or you know, just something in there. Is I like how you said that because that's absolutely true. People, I think we said in like our interview, you know, people, they always want to cut people off, and I'm not saying you know be for the BS. I'm not saying that, but I'm also saying too, fairly cutting off people when things get hot, it also doesn't teach you the lesson that you need to learn as an individual.
absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. Like it's almost like just from my personal experience, my whole interpretation of what a relationship is needed to change. And that couldn't change until I took the time to be by myself and really understand who it was that I am and what I want. And I don't know, like I guess like you said, some people fear being alone because you do have to sit and you have to figure all of that out. And it's not easy. It's not easy to sit by yourself and figure out all of these things.
At all.
But it changes everything when you can find the strength to do it.